Okay, here we go. Our final group here. Of course, we got to start off with our checklist. Divide, multiply, subtract, check, bring down and box, and repeat and remainder. 2 goes into 2 times what goes into 9 without going over. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. I slide down the chute, Danny. 9 minus 8 is 0. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you work on division all day and then have to do these videos. 9 minus 8 is 1. So I've multiplied, I've subtracted, and now I check. 1 is less than 2. My kings are happy because it's bigger than the one. I can't share out any of my Smarties. I bring down my 2. And I box my 12. The 9 and the 2 are now dead to me. And I can repeat because I can share with these kings, and I have these spots open in my quotient. Two times what gets me close to 12 without going over. Splitting up more of those Smarties. 2 times 6 gives me 12. Slide down the chute. My 2 goes here, my 1 goes here. I subtract. 2 minus 2 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So I've determined that 6 works. I've multiplied 2 times 6 and gotten 12. I subtracted 12 minus 12 and gotten 0. 0 is less than 2, obviously. My king is happy. I can't share anything out. Bring down that last 7. 007. I box it. And I mark that 7 up here, done. I'm done with it. It's dead to me. And I'm also done with this 12. Can I repeat? Yes, I can share that 7 out to the 2 kings, the 2 kids. Since I can repeat, I still have this open quotient up here as well. I start over. I determine 2 times what gets me close to 7 without going over. 2 times 3 equals 6. So I've multiplied now. Now I go ahead and subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. I check. 1, I can't share into that 2. It is less than the king, so he's happy. So I bring down and box. I have nothing to bring down. I box my remainder. I bring that remainder up. Remainder of 1. Couldn't repeat. I'm all finished. My quotient is 463 with a remainder of 1. Remember, that's the quotient. And it's the answer to this problem in that that's what we wanted to solve. But it's the quotient. So sometimes we're looking for other things. Total, groups, in each group with our remainder. Okay. And our final problem. Does McDonald's sell cheese burgers raw? Divide, multiply, determine, multiply, subtract, check, bring down and box, repeat, or remainder. 3 times what gets me close to 9 without going over? I love seeing 9 because I know 3 times 3 gets me real close. Slide down our chute. 3 times 3 is 9. subtract. 9 minus 9 is 0. Check. Nothing left to share to my 3 kings. My king is happy. He's bigger than them. Bring down my 1. Box it. Remember, I don't have to say anything about that. I don't say 0, 1. I just said 007 because I like James Bond. I brought down and boxed. And now this 9 and this 1 I've not touched this 8. This 9 and this 1 are now dead to me. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Can I repeat? Well, now if I go here, I don't have enough to share. Remember, the 0 wasn't, now the 1. I brought down the 1. It's not enough to share. However, we have 2 tests. Test 1 is, do we have enough to share? Test 2 is, do we have spots open in our quotient? And we do. We have 2 spots. So we can repeat. Come back up. Determine 3 times what gets me close to 1 without going over? Well, 3 times 1 is 3. If 1 doesn't work, we have to fill that place value with a 0. 3 times 0 equals, slide down the chute, 0. Now, there's another trick to this, and we'll get into it eventually. But right now, I want you filling up this space. 1 minus 0 is 1. So I've multiplied 3 times 0 and gotten the 0. I've then subtracted 1 minus 0 and gotten 1. Now I'm checking, and again, I don't have enough to share. My king is happy. I'm still along the right path. I bring down the 8. Now things are starting to shake out. And I box my 18. And again, I just want to make sure. You notice I put the 0 there. I put the 3 there. Everything's getting put there right away. I'm not leaving anything blank to forget about later. Once I've boxed that, the 8 is now, I've used it. I'm using it now. I'm done with the 1. So this really becomes my new dividend in a lot of different ways. Okay. Can I repeat? Yes, I can share out 18 to 3. I still have this open part of my quotient. 3 times what gets me close to 18 without going over? Well, 3 times 6 is 18. I slide down my chute. 8 goes here. 1 goes here. I've determined that 6 works. I've multiplied 3 times 6. I've subtract. Now I'm going to subtract. 18 minus 18 is 0. Love seeing that 0. Click, click, click. I check that 0 is less than 3. Can't share out to the 3 kings. I bring down a box. I have nothing to bring down. I really have nothing to box, but I'm still boxing that 0 for practice. Bring it up. I can't repeat because I can't bring anything down. I don't have anything to share. My remainder is 0. So my final answer, as I circle it, is 306 with the remainder of 0. I started with 918 Smarties, split it between 3 groups, 3 kings. Each king got 306 Smarties. None left for Mr. Pete unless I'm all 3 kings. Okay? So again, remember, when you have these zeros, you work it out, just like anything else. 3 times 0 is what gets me close to 1 without going over. So make sure you fill out all of your place value spots. And there, boys and girls, is your homework. Make sure that you finished your DCCR and these 6 problems. If you need help, of course, you can always ask Mr. Hutch or myself in the morning. See you in the morning, kiddos.